Hello, my name's Cesar Martinez, and I interviewed Sean Kelly, sous chef at Chuck's Manufacturing, where I work. Um, I've known Sean for over 3 years now. We used to work together at Paramount Events, where we came from before we came to Chuck's. So asking him questions for this assignment was pretty much just like no big deal or whatever. He's a good friend and boss. So Sean's been working in the business for over 11 years now. He grew up in his aunt's restaurant over in Lombard, Illinois. He started really young, basic stuff, helping out at home since a child, and eventually working his way up to random restaurants around Berlin where he lives, where he grew up at. Um, he started at Sodexo at the age of 19, and it's really the only other official, real, true professional place he's worked at other than at Chuck's. He was there for over 10 years. He worked there for a year and a half and then was promoted to chef. At Sodexo, they deal with various big corporate locations around the city, like the Shed, Museum of Science and Industry, Ace Hardware, the Botanical Garden, random big places like that. So he dealt with big clients and did mostly corporate gigs for them. He ran he ran over 15 operations at one time. He is big on mass production for food, for corporate lunches for them, for cafeterias meals for their staff, or just events that had going on, or even events that Dexco was doing for themselves. He is a very hands-on chef, you could say. He's not afraid to go on the line and in the middle of service and help out. He will call you out on anything, will help you, will tutor you or mentor you, whatever you want to call it. He's a very approachable person. He's not the type to be very uptight and strict. I mean, he's strict to a point, but he will become your friend before anything else. He's not afraid to get down and dirty with us on the line. He's pretty good boss. For him, since he started at 19 at Sodexo, and by 20 he was a chef or whatever, he probably one of the younger chefs they've ever had before him. So he was pretty much just faced. He he was probably over his mind and really new to everything. So dealing with multitudes of people working under him and for him in the different kitchens around the city and the clients he had. So every client has their perks. Many of them didn't like him since he was so young, and they believed that he wasn't ready to deal with all the pressures and situations they had to offer to him. But being the hard head that he is, he went over beyond and above and beyond for them, and to try to prove to them that he was he was ready for the job. He he really likes to participate in anything that we're doing. If we're backed up in prep or busy and he was not really doing anything, he'll come down and help you. He believes in treating everyone fairly, from the executive chef at the hotel to the dishwashers. Everyone should have the same respect, deserve the same respect that you would give the big boss. He, like I said before, he's not afraid to get down and dirty with us. He will wash dishes if it need be. He's a very humble person and doesn't mind doing extra work. He says that to be a real chef, you have to be humble enough and committed enough to not say no to anybody, to see that if you're needed on a certain station, or that some guy and the dishwashers are behind and you need dishes, and you're not going to be yelling at them to do that, that you should just do it yourself, and because everyone is part of the team. Not one person is better than the other, because without the one person you will not be successful. Anybody that's ever worked in a restaurant environment knows that, since you need the other person to have to have the perfect orchestra at the end of the night, the 300 cover night or whatever. Each and every one had their own part in it. Like he says, you don't. You have to treat everyone fairly. And he's very big on teaching people how to do different things if they don't know, even though they should, or they he thinks that challenges aren't a problem in the kitchen, because working in the kitchen is a challenge, and challenges shouldn't you shouldn't be afraid of challenges, because you should not see the challenge for what it is, but you should see the challenge as a learning experience, to see a solutions you could do to it. He's a very uptight. He's not an uptight person, and just a great guy overall.